As of August 2025, the FAXX program remains one of the most significant long-term efforts by the U.S. Navy to modernize its carrier-based aviation forces. The aircraft under development is being designed not simply as a replacement for existing tactical platforms, but as the centerpiece of a future combat air system that reflects new priorities in range, survivability, stealth, and digital integration. The FAXX is envisioned as a sixth-generation fighter aircraft, but more accurately, it is part of a broader family of systems concept, one that represents a major doctrinal shift in how naval aviation will operate in contested and highly dynamic environments in the 2030s and beyond. At the core of the FAXX initiative is a re-evaluation of the challenges faced by carrier air wings in the coming decades. Traditional approaches to naval airpower, which emphasized shorter-range aircraft operating from aircraft carriers relatively close to contested areas, are increasingly seen as vulnerable. As adversary capabilities evolve, including longer-range sensors, more advanced aerial threats, and area denial tactics, the U.S. Navy has recognized the need for a new generation of aircraft that can operate with greater persistence, survivability, and lethality across vast operational distances. The FAXX is being designed with these mission parameters in mind. It is expected to feature significantly increased range over current tactical aircraft, enabled by a combination of advanced propulsion, reduced drag design, and internal fuel capacity. The airframe is optimized for stealth with a smooth blended body, internally housed sensors and weapons, and minimal protrusions or angular features that would reflect radar energy. It features no vertical stabilizers, an uncommon but increasingly favored design decision in low observable aircraft to reduce radar cross-section. Stability in flight without tail surfaces is expected to be achieved through advanced digital flight control systems, aerodynamic shaping, and thrust vectoring engines. The aircraft's internal systems are projected to include high-powered sensor arrays, distributed aperture tracking, long-range targeting systems, and advanced electronic warfare capabilities. These technologies are being developed with the goal of allowing the FAXX to identify, classify, and engage airborne and surface threats without relying on vulnerable external support. Importantly, the aircraft will also be designed for contested communications environments, allowing it to function independently or as part of a decentralized tactical network when satellite or data links are denied. An important design characteristic is the aircraft's compatibility with future digital battlefield infrastructure. This includes seamless integration into Navy and Joint Service Command and Control systems, real-time data sharing, and machine-assisted targeting through onboard artificial intelligence. The aircraft's cockpit is likely to be equipped with a reconfigurable digital interface, adaptive mission management tools, and decision-aiding systems that allow a single pilot to manage complex engagements while coordinating with uncrewed systems in the battlespace. Another defining feature of the FAXX is its emphasis on modularity and future adaptability. While its initial role will include long-range strike and air superiority, the design philosophy supports the rapid integration of future technologies as they mature. These may include improvements in propulsion, energy weapons, advanced computing, next-generation materials, and further automation. The ability to upgrade subsystems over time without complete airframe redesign is a central pillar of the Navy's long-term planning for the FAXX platform. A critical element of the program is manned-unmanned teaming. While the FAXX is expected to be piloted, at least in its early variants, it is being developed with the capability to act as a control node for a group of uncrewed systems. These may include long-range surveillance platforms, electronic warfare drones, or other mission-specific assets. The piloted aircraft would operate at the center of this distributed force, directing and coordinating uncrewed platforms in real time. This teaming concept would expand the FAX's operational reach, complicate adversary targeting, and enhance survivability by allowing risk to be shared across multiple, disaggregated platforms. The Navy has so far been highly selective and secretive about details of the program. However, in 2025, Northrop Grumman released updated concept imagery of its proposed design, revealing a wide, tailless aircraft with large blended wings and subtle inlets positioned along the upper fuselage. The aircraft appeared to be single-seat, and it incorporated heavy-duty landing gear for catapult and arrested landings on aircraft carriers. This concept aligned with previous observations that the Navy is prioritizing aerodynamic efficiency, low observability, and carrier suitability. While concept art is not always reflective of the final product, Northrop's release represents the most current visual interpretation of the Navy's vision for the platform. Currently, the F/A-XX program is still in its pre-production and source selection phase. Lockheed Martin was reportedly eliminated from the competition earlier in 2025, narrowing the race to Boeing and Northrop Grumman. Both contractors are engaged in prototype development, digital modeling, and systems integration efforts. The U.S. Navy is using digital engineering extensively in this phase, allowing simulations of performance, maintenance cycles, and mission scenarios before any physical airframes are built. This approach reduces costs, shortens development timelines, and improves design fidelity in advance of full-scale prototyping. The budgetary situation surrounding the F/A-XX has seen recent fluctuations. The Department of Defense's proposed FY 2026 budget included significantly reduced funding for the Navy's Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) program, under which the F/A-XX falls. Critics argued that such a reduction threatened to delay the program and risk a capability shortfall once current platforms begin to retire. In response, the Senate Appropriations Committee moved to include an additional $1.4 billion in funding to ensure that development remained on schedule. This was accompanied by strong support from defense officials, who warned that any delays in developing the F/A-XX would jeopardize the Navy's ability to operate effectively in future conflict scenarios. Naval leadership has publicly emphasized the importance of the F/A-XX in maintaining long-term superiority. The current fleet of aircraft is aging, and while modernization programs are underway, there is a broad consensus that they will not be sufficient to address the full scope of future challenges. The F/A-XX is being designed specifically with the 2030s and 2040s in mind, an era expected to be defined by distributed maritime operations, heavily contested environments, and reduced ability to rely on traditional support infrastructure. Beyond its technical capabilities, the F/A-XX is being viewed as a transformational asset in terms of strategic deterrence. It is intended to ensure that the U.S. Navy maintains global reach and credible airpower projection, even under the most technologically demanding circumstances. The combination of stealth, range, modularity, and manned-unmanned integration is expected to offer a degree of flexibility and persistence not seen in earlier generations of carrier-based aviation. If the program continues without major disruption, first flight of a prototype could occur by the end of the decade, with initial operational capability targeted for the mid-2030s. The platform will then gradually replace aging aircraft as they reach the end of their service lives, becoming the new foundation of the Navy's carrier air wings for decades to come. The F/A-XX program is more than just a new aircraft, it is a complete rethinking of what it means to project naval airpower in a complex and uncertain future. Every aspect of the design and development is informed by the lessons of recent decades, the challenges of operating at long ranges, and the need to stay ahead in an increasingly competitive technological environment. The program's success will depend on stable funding, continued innovation, and a shared strategic vision across government, industry, and military leadership.